ABC 36 News at Noon is brought to you by Trackside Restaurant and Bourbon Bar.
Hey friends, welcome back. Whether you're a student, a healthcare professional, or just an interested community member, or you need some course completion to meet a school or occupational requirement perhaps, you can learn first aid and CPR easily. We've got just the way to do it.
I know, we really do. Please welcome in Debbie Alexander, who's the owner of C.P.R. of Richmond, Kentucky. Thank you for coming in, Debbie.
Thank you for having me.
Well, we appreciate it, and we knew, that a lot of folks, including ourselves, we're not excluding ourselves, we need a refresher on CPR, and I think there's a lot of people in our community that just need to know the basics of the CPR in order to help save a life.
You had it as a lifeguard. I've had it in the Navy Reserve.
And with search and rescue,
you just can't rest on your laurels from 10 years ago. You need refreshers on this.
You really do.
About every 2 years.
About every 2 years.
Good to know.
All right. So what are some of the first steps of CPR for if you come up to a situation, whether it's an adult or a child? What are the first steps that we need to know?
One of the first things is, are you okay? And call 911 and get the AED.
Okay.
It doesn't matter, and point at someone if you need to. You call 911 and get the AED.
Right.
Because you want that advanced care there as soon as possible. You want that ambulance there.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. And as far as when you do that, so you get somebody on the phone, you call the ambulance, they're on their way. What should we do next?
Well, depending on what level of CPR you're doing, you want to undo the clothes and place the heel of one hand on the lower half of the breastbone and the heel of the other hand on top. Now, I'm a little high to actually push, but you want to push down hard and fast for a rate of at least 100 to 120 times a minute.
Okay, so you're really pumping.
Heart rate.
Yeah, so you're pumping at a rapid rate.
Yes, it's very rapid.
Okay.
It is. You'll be surprised how tiring it is.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I'm sure.
So anyway, if this wasn't so high, I'd do this and push down 1.5 to 2 inches.
Okay.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah. And are there different types of CPR that we should be doing too?
There are. There's different levels based on your, I hate to say education level, but that, and also what you're doing your CPR for. Yeah. For instance, if you're just an interested community, member, a factory, daycare, I know right now the state is requiring home health aides to get this.
Yes.
You would do something called a heart saver CPR AED and the first aid added, because they don't go into some of the more complicated things that a healthcare provider would use or have access to.
Yeah.
Right. And different sizes of victims too. We're talking about babies, we're talking about small children.
And I'm assuming with the small child, you're not going to be using your full hand when you're doing CPR with them, right?
No, you would in between the nipples and right below.
And you just use 2 fingers?
1.5 to 2, 4 centimeters or 1/2, 1 to 1.5 depth.
Yeah, well, you know what? It's important to know not to use the full hand, especially with a child. You use the 2 fingers and you get it down on the chest area, and that's where you have to push in.
Because 0 to 1 is considered an infant, and their stuff hasn't really moved into where it's supposed to.
They're little.
So you really, you don't want to use the whole hand. You may push something and kill them.
What's the best way for folks to get in touch with you and be able to feel confident about this work?
The best thing to do is get on the website. CPRRichmondKY.com and sign up.
All right.
And call if you're, have any trouble with navigation of the website. Give me a call. It's all right there. There's a schedule of classes. You can pick what you need.
Fantastic.
And if you're owner, I hate to say owner, but a manager at a factory, we go to you if you need to.
Oh, and do the classes.
And travel. So we travel.
All right.
It's an obligation.
It is.
Yes.
It is.
To our neighbors, to our community. So, Debbie, we appreciate you.
And the person that you're in care of.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Exactly. That's right. Debbie, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Good to see you. We're back in just a second. Stick around.